This is how it is. 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 Today on Pop Culture Minefield. This is how it is. Today. This is how it is. Today on Pop Culture Minefield. This is how it is. This is how it is. Today on Pop Culture Minefield. Today on Pop Culture Minefield.
Yeah, on Pop Culture Minefield. So it's Wednesday, it's hump day. Middle of the fucking week. In fact, German speaking countries are so uncreative in naming their days, they just call it middle of the week, Midvoke.
Midroll,
Right, Anima?
yes. Yeah, well, on the other hand, you have Croatians who are so creative to call Sunday the no work day, and Monday is the after no work day.
Oh,
To
well,
translate them literally. Nedilia means we don't work. Nedilia means after we don't work day.
It's like,
maybe you
go ahead, Martin.
maybe you don't know this, Gary, but I'm sure Anima knows. In Portuguese, it's even worse. The name of their day are first day, second day, third day.
Fuck off.
Okay.
Yes.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Croatians
So,
do that with the months. They rarely use the names of the months. They just count. But we do that in German as well.
So Jason and one of his buddies were talking about doing a show. They said, I'm thinking about calling it the Monday Show. I think that's a pretty good name. I said, you want to get really creative? Call it the Sunday Show on Mondays. That'll confuse everybody.
Yeah.
That will confuse me. I can assure you that.
Yeah.
The Sunday Show on Mondays. So, yeah, stuff going on. Apparently, there was some big event yesterday. It went on all night. I don't know. Somebody won something. I don't know. Who cares?
Remember the 5th of November, where the Marxists were beaten by Trump. I know of no reason why the communist treason should ever be forgot.
I like that. That's well done. I stayed up last night. I did a couple hours with my buddy Mephisto, and then I jumped over with Pacific 414 and hung out with the guys. And it finally hit a point where I couldn't get to sleep. We were all stressed out. And we were just completely stressed out about this. And I finally just said, what everybody was saying is like, look, man, I remember 2020. I'm not going to bed until we know what's happened. Because I'm not going to go to bed thinking it's one thing and waking up finding out it's something else. And we got resolution, and it was something else. It was something else. First time in 40 years, something like that happened where a candidate not only won the electoral votes, but won the popular vote. Not since Reagan. So very cool. Europe is reporting it as tight race. Seriously.
But then that was just a title on one of the newspapers that I saw on the train. I didn't read the
It
article.
was
So
close. Too close to call.
it was probably what in an online medium we would call clickbait. They just want you to open up the thing and read it. But in the line under it, they were talking about Trump barely surviving the attack on his life. And I'm like, come on. Yeah, he got hit by the bullet, but it was his ear. That's not barely surviving it. That's getting lucky because he was turning his head.
He was very blessed.
Barely surviving means getting shot and being in hospital and being critical.
I almost died. So what
Yeah.
you're saying, in effect, is you didn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Okay. That's not almost dying.
It's a stupid newspaper. There's a reason it's for free and everywhere because it's.
Well, journalism is dead.
Those
I
are really
apologize,
the worst.
guys. I've got
Well.
some kind of head cold or something going on. Been fighting it for days. And so you're going to see me blow my nose a lot. Blew my nose a lot last night on the show. I kept having to go off camera. So it was good, though. I got to hang out with the guys. You know, Jason was there, Fox. I hung out with Janet. I actually got to say, damn it, Janet. And, well, I don't know. We had a blast. But at the same time, we really couldn't get sleep because we were so stressed out. And then once it all ended, you get like this rush of like, it's like you drank 8 coffees, you know, and it's just my brain would stop. And finally, I messaged Anima. I'm like, I'm finally
Texting me when I was
down.
on my way to work, and it was past 4 a.m. his time. Crazy.
Like I'm finally able to fall asleep. So I went and I went to lie down and put my head on the pillow, and I just took me about 15 minutes, standard 15 minutes, and I was out. But good God, what a night. Very stressful, very exciting. And I can see already people are losing their minds today. The View was, I predicted it. I said, you know, it's going to be, what did I say? Did you read what I posted, Martin, on Twitter about it?
No.
You watch, the View's going to go nuts today. Everybody's going to be threatening to leave the country. They'll never fucking do it. The only celebrity who's managed to leave the country, didn't do it as a threat, just did it, was Johnny Depp and George Clooney. Every person that's ever threatened to leave didn't leave. And then Tim Russ, oh my God, he said he was going to drink poison if Trump won. Seriously, self-delete. I'm like, you need help. I've met him. He seemed like a really nice guy, but that's not a normal thing to say. That's deranged. Oh, fuck you, Andy. He had me laughing for the show, you dick. I watched it. First of all, I've seen that what's his name with Ali meeting Freddie Starr. I've seen that interview before, and I love that interview. It's on Parkinson's show, and he starts telling Ali this story, and Ali is so captivated by the story, and it's getting creepy because he talks about how, you know, this character that he's going to play is like he's like, you know, got gangsters after me. He's so in debt to these gangsters through debts from betting, and he goes to his wife and he says, "You have 2 rings, you know, that this could save my life. Please give me those rings." And she goes, "No, I'm not going to. This is your problem." And he goes, "No, you don't know. You're going to kill me if you don't give me those rings to pay this off." And so she says no. So when she goes to sleep, he smothers her and cuts the fingers off to get the rings off, and goes and sells them, and ends up, you know, going into, you know, making good with the bad guys and he ends up making so much money off of the rings that he's able to stop gambling and invest it, and becomes rich beyond his wishes. And then when he's older, he's sitting there one night at home alone in his mansion, no one with him. And there's a knock at the door, and it's raining out. And he opens the door, and there's this older woman standing there with the hood over, and Ali is just sitting there, just captivated by the story. He goes, and then this little lady, he's like, come inside. Would you like some coffee? I'll make you some coffee. You'll chilled to the bone. And she's like, oh, it's so radiant. It's so wet and cold. He goes, well, let's dry your clothes by the fire here. I'll give you a robe to put on, and you can come over here and sit here, and I'll get you some coffee. Okay. And then when he comes back in, she's in the robe, sitting there, holding it together. But when she reaches for the coffee cup,
2 fingers are missing.
And he goes, oh my God. And Ali's like, oh. And he's like getting all excited. And he goes, ma'am, do you mind if I ask you? You used your fingers? She goes, well, let me tell you that. He goes right. Ali jumps back and squeals. He says, I can hardly wait till I get back home and tell somebody else the story. Oh my God, I love that. Oh, Tom Hanks too? Really? That's pathetic. Hollywood is pathetic. And I don't mean all of it. I would say 95% of it is pathetic. We got guys like Marsden, who's, I've become friends with, and we're going to get him on the show here. We got to schedule it. I like that guy, Matthew Marsden, that was in Rambo.
Yep.
Really solid dude, man. I like this guy. Smart too. Smart as a whip. Sometimes I just look at actors and go, whatever, I don't care what you think. But then you get someone like James Woods. I like James Woods, and I like what he has to say. Then you got like Marsden. I'm like, I like what this guy's got to say. He's actually has read what he's talking about. He knows the information. He's done his research, his due diligence. So I like him. Most Hollywood actors, I don't care if they're conservative or liberal. Don't care. I don't give two shits for their opinions. So, but anyway, after me, I didn't watch TV nor YouTube. I found out what happened this morning. I don't know how you could fall asleep, bro. I was hanging out with all those guys last night, except for Tom. Tom was busy doing other stuff. And, but I made a post today that, that Andre started to argue with, but then Tom came in there and said, no, Gary's right there. No, he's absolutely right. And I don't like to argue with Andre because I admire him so damn much. But I thought, oh, am I going to have to argue with? Nope. Tom did it for me. So it was fun. It was a fun night. I haven't felt like a weight has been lifted off of me in a long time. I think the last time I felt that much weight lifted off of me was when my fat ex-girlfriend broke up with me.
Let me tell you something. That we who come from countries with tyrants, we have this advantage over you on election day. We already know they are always going to win with 99% of the votes. So
yeah, and once again, this was a big shocker, though. We haven't seen anything like this in over 40 years, because I think 1980, so it's 44 years ago, did we see something like this, where the candidate not only got the electoral votes, he got the popular vote. And it's just rare. But that was a shot across the bow of politicians, leftists, Marxists. We're paying attention to you, motherfuckers. So you better be afraid.
I think it's a shot across the bow to both sides, because that is a message to your own side too. And don't you fuck up, because this can happen to you too.
Exactly. And I pointed out, because they said you're conservative. I said, I'm closer to constitutional libertarian. I'm a strict constitutionalist. I said, but I am conservative in some areas, especially when it comes to national defense and things like that. But I'm also very liberal when it comes to taking care of the poor and taking care of our veterans. I was really upset that here in Missouri, one of the propositions I voted for was that the state needs to take an extra collection for retired police department or policemen. And it got voted down. And I'm like, how do you vote that down, making sure that retired, including medically retired policemen aren't taken care of? Just, I don't know how that happens in Missouri. It's weird. My kitties were, isn't he a D, bud?
That's the best way to fall asleep.
I cracked Jace up last night when I said, well, you know, I am a gay man trapped in a heterosexual body. I made him chuckle last night. In the UK, we voted in socialists, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Look, New York City, 14th district, voted AOC back in landslide.
Why?
They're idiots.
Why?
That's why they're stupid.
I'm trying to think a worse politician than her, and of course there's Kamala, okay, but it's
there
hard.
are
It's
worse
not easy.
politicians there, but I think that it's been a long time since I've seen a politician as stupid as she is, like ignorant. Like it's beyond ignorant. Ignorance is just not knowing. She refuses to learn, which makes her stupid. So, hello, Snortopoopus. How are you doing
Snorty.
today, my friend? I think that it was an interesting election. I think it's going to have long-reaching ramifications. And what I told a lot of my friends around the world, I said, for those of you who are suffering under socialist regimes right now in democratic countries, quote unquote democratic countries, United Kingdom, Ireland, Scotland, Canada, France, Australia is still struggling. It's like, look, man,
New Zealand, man.
this is a sign that's being sent out to every single one of you guys to know that help's coming. And it's going to take friendships to get you guys back to where you are not choking to death, starving, and being,
Dude.
God, man, it's like repressed when you have people in the world being arrested because they don't think the right way and imprisoned for it. French, I care about the French. I love the French.
Dude, did you
I love
see
the British more, but
did you see that Houthis are already retreating?
The what?
The Houthis, they are already retreating.
What do you mean?
I saw a tweet in which there was a capture of the military leader of the Houthis. You know, they're being at war. Well, not at war. They call it military operations for the last 2 months, and now just yesterday. Well, it was just practice, and now we are returning to our bases.
And so, where are they're in Yemen, right?
I think
That's where the Houthis are, right? Yemen.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. And for those of you curious, the Houthis are Sharia driven. So Sharia law. So yeah, we need that driven out of countries. That shouldn't exist. And they're trying to make it happen in Europe right now. And Jace, he's up there in Norway, and he's talking about how he's lost 2 friends to this shit. Murdered by these extremists. So yeah, Sharia's got to go away. So, that's good news. Who's chasing him out? I guess that's important, Martin.
Oh no, just by the result of the election.
Oh,
Yes.
so they didn't cheat? Wow, that's weird for the Middle East in a world.
Cackler.
Yeah, somebody asked me, like, where is she? I said, she's in her bunker in Berlin, hiding, drunk, working, trying to get a little bit of the hair of the dog that bit her.
I don't know, man. I have a strange feeling about all this because, dude, the party and the supporters, they had to know they were going to lose the moment they pick her. They had to.
No, she had no platform. And that's the thing. I made fun of that one guy, because he was talking about how stupid. I said, well, how stupid are you? You're voting for somebody who doesn't have a platform. What does she stand for? You don't even fucking know. It's like, you're calling other people stupid?
You're voting for someone that was imposed.
Yeah.
Not even.
And that's the other thing. They circumvented the process, and nobody called them on it. The media is just like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. She's calling involved. Whatever. And
She's
double
female.
demonetized.
That's probably one of her biggest arguments, speaking for her, that she's a female.
Yeah.
Hey, we had Sax in the house.
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
Sax.
What's up,
Not the other
What's up,
word.
Kyle? Hey, Kyle.
Here we go.
He was running from something, sir. And then he crashed into a DUI checkpoint, committed 10 felonies, and not to mention FUing a room full of cops.
You FU me all the time.
Fuck you, Kyle! Shut the fuck up, Kyle!
Oh, you double fucked him. Okay.
So, I'm assuming you went to bed pretty happy last night too, and not because you got like a little piece off your wife. Yeah. Now we have to extend all this good news to our northern neighbor. We got to help Mexico too, because good God, they're trying to take over there. This is a big shot across the bow for the globe, for these socialists, because as goes the United States, so goes the world. And we need to start pushing that shit, getting these fuckers out of there. Because I said it last night. I said, not in my lifetime have we had to deal with what is the single greatest threat of Marxism. We came close to being Marxist during the Depression. A lot of people don't know how close we came. We went socialist. We went to social programs to keep from going full on communist. That's what FDR did. But he still set up social programs that have failed to date. It's just they're not working.
They always fail.
Yeah. Because look, the only way social programs work is in a thriving economy. And when you have socialists that are running the country into the ground, where are they going to get the money from? And that's where you begin to borrow from one to pay the other. Then you're in debt to this one. You just keep doing it. It's a cycle, destructive cycle. It's eating the wheel of cheese because eventually you run out of cheese. Oh, what are we going to do about making some more? I don't know. We killed all the people to make cheese.
They just figured out that just by having kids, it's possible for a family of immigrants with I think it was 5 kids or 6 kids even, insane amount of children anyway, without even working, just by being here, having made it into the country, can have up to $6,000 a month.
While
Just
you have
being here, having
people
kids.
just like us, I guarantee that homeless people, I bet you have homeless people there
Oh,
that
sure.
are getting taken care of. People from Austria not getting the kind of help that these foreigners are getting.
Well, we do have institutions to help these people, but they have rules, and a lot of homeless people just cannot put up with these rules because one of them, of course, is no alcohol. Another one that's a bit problematic is no animals.
You're telling me
I have
my life
thought
sucks and I can't escape it in any way?
I get it why they don't allow drinking, but there are places where they can go for food, and there are places where they can go for a sleeping spot, at least for some time. But it's still a problem.
Tim, in Venezuela, we had that oil money. It didn't work.
Yep. But that's because you guys went full on retard. I mean, communist.
I
why
wouldn't
you
say
fled.
full. I wouldn't say full. I can't even imagine how full could look.
Well, when your leader becomes totally authoritarian and uses the military and law enforcement to repress the people, that's pretty full on, in my opinion. So somehow the people in charge of those countries are able to put some cheddar aside for themselves, of course, because if you know anything about socialism and communism, those at the top, the managers, they're the ones who do well. They're the only ones who do well. Everybody else suffers. So, but that's it. I don't want to talk anymore about that. I want to get into this movie. This is a favorite film of mine. It is, a lot of people don't know, it is a retelling of A Scandal in Bohemia by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yep.
And it was written and directed by the smarter Kasdan son, Jake Kasdan. The other Kasdan, the one that worked on Star Wars, the gay one. He's a terrible writer. I love this opening showing all these rehearsed signatures and shit. This is great. But a lot of people didn't realize when they were watching this. I caught it when I was watching it.
Me too.
Holmes. This is clearly Sherlock Holmes. And in
Yep.
fact,
It is.
Girl, he even says the fucking line at the end. The one.
Well,
I just got chills again. Look at that. Goosebumps.
Sherlock used to refer to Irene as the woman.
The woman. He also referred to her as the one. And it didn't mean love. It meant admiration. Others have misconstrued that to be an affection or romantic love, but that's not really what Sherlock Holmes is about. He is. I'm not saying he's not capable of it. I think he is, but this is the mistake they made with Sherlock. Is they said he was a high functioning sociopath. That's not what he was. He's a guy who suffers from Asperger's, and that's how Jake Kasdan wrote him, is a guy with Asperger's. And it's really fucking wonderful watching this film. This is kind of a mishmash of Watson, kind of the Ben Stiller character. He's not a doctor. He's a guy that wants out, which is not the case with Watson. Watson is absolutely in love with the mind of Sherlock Holmes, and he wants to understand how he does what he does. Ben Stiller's character is completely different, so they really stray off of Sherlock Holmes.
Well, the detective is treating him like shit, having him fly back and forth for no fucking reason, not valuing his time or his girlfriend that he wants to spend time with. So
Holmes did that now. Holmes did that shit to him. In fact, prime example is the beast of the Hound of the Baskerville, because he sends Watson ahead and pretends that he's not going, when instead he sends him there only to go there too to observe what's going on, and he doesn't tell Watson, which hurts Watson's feelings. But then he tells him, "My friend, that is the last thing I want to do is offend you, because I know you are a man of honesty and integrity. and therefore you would have been compelled to tell him I was here, and I didn't want to put you in that position. So as much as he seems like an asshole, he actually really does have compassion for Watson in particular.
Yeah, but remember that when he gets married, he abandons his service to Sherlock, and I think he only returns when his wife is murdered.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that because that's something we should talk about someday. I would love to talk about the entire works of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Oh yeah, please.
I'm an avid reader. I have multiple copies of the books. In case I lose one, I have others. So I'm never without Sherlock Holmes.
Oh my God, the hairdo on Ben Stiller.
Oh yeah. Well, look, man, this is the mid '90s, and look at Ryan O'Neal. We just lost him, and he still looks like he's in good shape. And what's funny is when I saw him in this movie, I went, "God damn, he looks old." But now I look back, it's like, he didn't look that old at all.
Well, now you are old. Back then you weren't. That changes perspective too.
Now, again, here's another one. Instead of a Prince of Bohemia, who's German, he is a businessman in the Seattle area. Or is it Portland? I can't remember where this is at. I think it's Seattle.
No, it's Portland.
Is it? Okay.
Yep.
Same difference.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
So he's a businessman who's being blackmailed. Now, in the original story, Irene Adler is blackmailing him to prevent him from stopping her from marrying the man she's in love with. So she has a photograph of the two of them together that she holds ransom. But once she knows by the end of the story that she is able to marries him and can escape back to Europe, she returns the photo to, this is fucking funny, to the door. It's goofy.
Oh my God.
I laughed so hard at the fucking door not working.
Wait, when he missed to close the last lock,
That drove me crazy.
Yeah, no. I was expecting to oh my God, Zero to chew him up for that. And he forgot when he's going to get scolded. But no.
I scolded him. Ask Gary. I scolded him for forgetting that.
Bad OCD, bad OCD. By the way, Tab. Do you guys remember Tab? I remember Tab. Tab was a Coke product that had saccharin in it. It was a diet soda that had saccharin in it.
What is that?
It's a soda. It's a diet soda. A cola.
The stuff it had in.
Saccharin is a sweetener that has been proven to cause cancer in the intestines of laboratory animals.
You pronounce it differently than we do, so I didn't immediately recognize it. Yeah.
Almost all the artificial edulcorants cause cancer. So,
well, thankfully, not sucralose. Sucralose is a sugar alcohol, so it doesn't do anything.
Aren't they all sugar alcohols?
The only problem, no, it's actually made from sugar. It's a sugar alcohol that comes from sugar, actual sugar.
Maltitol is too.
I don't use maltitol, and I think the reason why is because there is an additive to it. There is no additive with sucralose. And sucralose is good for diabetics because it acts like sugar. You can cook with it the same way. It reacts to butter the same way. It caramelizes. The only thing it doesn't do is it doesn't spike sugar. So it's safer for
and it doesn't have the
diabetics,
calories, right?
Or the calories. So, and it's the one I prefer, but some people get a bitter aftertaste from it. These are people with what's called super palates that have that impact. Also, I do believe that's the same group that have trouble with I just got to think of it in salsa.
Cilantro. Oh my god,
Yes,
the
cilantro.
fucking soap herb. I
Or
hate it.
coriander.
It's the same word, same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Different
coriander and yeah, it's the same
in
thing.
English.
Yeah, that's what
Depending
we
on
use.
where you're at, it's the same thing.
In
what
Europe,
they
it's
call it.
coriander. In the US, it's cilantro. Because I
And
used coriander at the Mexican restaurant, and the waiter didn't know what I was talking about. And then I remembered and told him cilantro. No cilantro.
and the irony of this is that I did some research into it and come to find out that there are more people that can eat cilantro, coriander in their food than not that have the problem. But that's caused by a mutation.
Yeah.
Those of us that can eat cilantro, coriander are mutants. The people who taste soap when they eat it are the normal people, and there's so few of them.
That's
So
the only
somewhere
normal
along
thing
the
about
line,
me.
a mutation occurred that allows most people to eat that thing because they always considered it to be too bitter when they originally found it. It was bitter. Nobody liked it because it tastes like you're eating soap. Zoe somehow got that. I don't know how her mother ate.
I'm the
salsa.
only one in
I
my
eat
family,
salsa.
Gary. I told you that. I'm the
Zoe?
only one in my family who can't have
My daughter is the
coriander.
only non-mutant, but don't tell her because then she'll get a big head.
Well, I'll let her know that she and her are both in that boat. But then I'm a unicorn anyway. With red
Yeah,
hair
you
and
are.
blue eyes
You're
combo.
my unicorn. You're my unicorn.
No, I mean I have the
I'm
rare
going to
combination of
mispronounce it
hair
just
and
for
eye
you.
color.
You're my unicorn.
Oh my god, fuck off.
Thank you.
Not you.
No, he was thanking you for telling me to fuck off.
Oh, always, always. You know, if I was next to him, I would slap the shit out of him.
She did. She slapped the shit out of me a lot. It
I
was
do
fun.
not condone
Yeah,
domestic violence.
Oh, come on. You enjoyed that too,
I'm not-
Martine, when you said
I'm not
something stupid and
saying-
I slapped him.
yeah. It's Sam Kinison. I'm not saying I support spousal abuse. I'm just saying I understand it.
I didn't abuse you.
Yeah, it's
I
a
just
joke.
slapped
Though. It's
you.
from Sam Kinison, the late comedic actor. Gary likes it rough. I like a little good smacking. So anyway, back to the show. He's down in these fucking tabs. I just cracking up laughing. My God. My favorite was Diet Right as a kid. It was one of my favorite diet sodas. And they still have it. Diet Right's still available. I also like Diet RC Cola.
Radio control.
And by the way, that's the drink right there that started the end for Tab and Diet Coke. It was being manufactured by the same people. And then Coke Zero happened. And that was it. That was the end of Tab. Tab just went away.
Coke Zero is so much
I like
better
Orange
than
Crush.
Diet Coke.
Look, the
Yep.
reason why it's better is because Diet Coke has its own formula. Coke Zero uses Coke formula with either Splenda or another sugar substitute. They don't use saccharin, thank God.
I have to check what they use here. But it does
I know that
taste
for a
good.
while it was Splenda.
I don't know if we have Splenda over here. Maybe we have a different name for it. I don't know.
So when they first brought Coke Zero out here in Missouri at McDonald's, the big sign saying, now Coke Zero at McDonald's, sweetened with Splenda. And it was on the big billboards. But then they kind of snuck around. And so some are sweetened with that and some are with others. Let's see. I'm looking at the ingredients right now.
Wait.
Yeah, they use
Coke Zero-
What?
Aspartame, yeah, probably.
which I don't like
Uh,
aspartame.
I thought it, yeah.
Coke
I do
Zero
not like
uses Splenda.
They did at one point, yes.
Oh,
And they
but not-
promoted
but
the
not
crap
currently.
out of it, but then they stopped and now they use aspartame.
Thank
I
God.
think that's the most used artificial sweetener here, aspartame.
Now I'm going to tell you something right now. Right now. I would quit working for Daryl Zero if I met a girl like that when I was in my 30s. Now, agreed, that relationship's not going to last.
But just
she's putting up with a lot, but she is at breaking point right now.
Well, she's also one of those people that's putting demands into the relationship that
she demands that he sticks to promises.
When she met him, he had this job, but now he needs to quit that job. See what I'm saying? There's a really unrealistic.
I agree with you, Gary. It would be different if she got her with her first and then the job.
Exactly.
Well, she was hoping that he would change and maybe make her more important.
Yeah, she was hoping to fix him. She was hoping to fix him according to her needs.
But listen, a lot of single dudes are workaholics, and when they have a relationship, they discover that life is actually more important than work. It does happen.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen to everybody, and neither.
She's not wrong for hoping it, though.
Neither men nor women should put those kind of ultimatums on their partner. If
an ultimatum is never right.
If it doesn't work for them, just
if you see that a job is hurting somebody, and you go, "Look, I'll stick by you, but I cannot watch you destroy yourself with this job. It's hurting you." That's different.
He just wants out, though. So she might just be hoping that he would finally quit, and he's just not quitting, and it's dragging on. He wants out. He's not happy in that job anymore. But he just keeps going. I can understand both sides here.
Yeah, well, he look at his answer when she asks him, and he just tell her he needs me. So he's not doing it for the job.
I'm sorry. All I could hear is what's her name? Olive Oil singing, "He needs me, he needs me."
God, yeah.
I mean, he at this point he's doing it for out of loyalty for that one-sided friendship.
Yeah. Well, he's also being paid a lot of money for doing that.
Oh, yeah. He's getting paid.
I love these moments in the film when he sits there and he's just kind of like outside of himself. And he's like zoned out. And like I really enjoy. Yeah, it reminds me very much of Birdie. And by the way, I am a big fan of Bill Pullman. I love this guy as an actor.
I hadn't noticed. Not undeservedly so. I think he was a little underrated.
Pullman? Oh, hell yeah. He's a far better actor than some of the actors from the same period that got way too many accolades for their work. One of them being, what's his name from Dumb and Dumber?
Gary?
No, the other guy.
Oh my God.
Who I think he's a prick, by the way. He will talk shit about people he's worked with. Like, just talk shit about him. I'm like, man, you're talking out of turn, man. It's not cool. Like, he was talking about working with Medicine Woman TV series.
Talking about Stan and Laurel?
No, I'm talking about Dumb and Dumber, the guy that's in that. Jim Carrey's partner in it.
Let me go there.
No, I haven't seen that.
So he was talking on David Letterman one night, and he was talking about that English actress that was in Live and Let Die, and she was the
right
Medicine Woman of the West TV series.
Jeff Daniels.
And he was talking about how she suffered horrible halitosis, and kissing her was a fucking nightmare. And I'm
What's
like,
halitosis?
Fucking
bad breath.
Bad breath. And I'm like, what an asshole.
Yeah, don't do that.
He did that on David Letterman one night. And I'm like, I just don't like him. And the accolades he got for that stupid fucking line where he's on that newsroom or whatever that show was, where he's talking about, America isn't number one, blah, blah, blah. And he, we're the 72nd in education, blah, blah. And I went, yeah, you left out the one thing that makes us what we are, which is opportunity. It's the one place in the world people are trying to get to for a reason, because of opportunity. And it's like, I cannot stand that show or him. I don't think he's that good a fucking actor. Bill Pullman, on the other side, made a great president. I loved him in this one. And what was that movie he did with Nicole Kidman? Where she and Alec Baldwin are fucking around behind his back, and just, it's a murder noir thriller, and it's just really fucking good. My dad and I sat up one night and watched it together, and I'm like, that's a good fucking movie. I hear a cat.
Yes. She's on the chair next to me, so her head is quite close to the microphone. She just sat up and purred at me because she needs chin scritches.
Malice, 1993.
Oh,
that is a great film with Bill Pullman in it. And by the way, he looks like Daryl Hall, not Daryl Zero. Seriously, he looks like Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates.
Wouldn't know. Gary, do you remember many years ago
Thank
when
you, Snort,
you could
that's what it
go?
was.
You could go to IMDb and type in a query that was just actors' names with a concatenated with a plus symbol, and it broke you their collaborations.
Yeah. Now
You
Google
can do
does
that
it.
now.
Google does it now.
Yeah, but I mean, why IMDb pulled that out?
They pulled a lot of things out. Look, when I told everybody that I knew, I said, the shift is coming on social media. You watch, because IMDb pulled down the ability to have their little bulletin board. They had a little
The ability
BBS.
to what?
They had a BBS inside of IMDb where people could fight and argue. And I remember I made a comment. I said, do you know why you will never get Gene Roddenberry's, utopian future? Because you can't even get people to agree on what's better, Star Trek Next Generation or Star Trek the original series. How are you going to get a fucking utopia? And
By forcing them with communism.
So they took down the boards on IMDb. And I thought that really hurt the site a lot. They still make tons of money because they're in league with the studio system and the networks.
Also, you need the upgraded pay-for version to check stuff like box office and shit.
Yeah, and I've got Box Office Mojo, so we can do that. But Tom Baker, yeah, that's the film I'm talking about is Malice. I love that movie. So Daryl is driving Ben Stiller's character crazy here, because
I really like the narration, by the way. The voiceover when he tells you what's going on.
Yeah, because he gets Ben Stiller to fly all the way to the city only to tell him to go right back. And then once he finds this thing, to come back and he goes, couldn't you just called me there? And he goes, it would have been more problematic to call you there and have you stop and not come and do that. And then this is much easier. And Ben's character is just like, fuck, man. He gets up and he's just so aggravated with him.
He keeps telling them that he wants to spend time with his girlfriend, and that's just not important to Zero.
Yeah, and he tells him, well, Daryl Zero's like, this isn't going to last. This isn't right for you.
Who is he to
Yeah.
judge?
Yeah, he's butting into something that's none of his fucking business. Because he wants him all to himself.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that Daryl Zero starts becoming this character and is enjoying it. And especially because he's, spying on him. And at the same time, he meets this girl who's really cute with the pixie haircut, paramedic.
Redhead, of course. Oh.
And I love it when she's behind him in line and he says, "You wouldn't perhaps be a paramedic, would you?" She goes, "Yeah, I am." "Why?"
How do you know that? Yeah.
It's nothing.
That's
I know what it
weird.
is. There's a smell.
But that's what he tells her later because she keeps asking.
There's a smell you get from working in ambulances.
Well, there's a whole lot of things that he notices.
It's
when
different
he
than
pieces it
clinical
together.
settings. There's just something that occurs when you work in an ambulance. And I'd walk around, I could smell it on my uniform. So this is just great. So once again, this film is a very loose adaptation of A Scandal in Bohemia with Sherlock Holmes and John Watson. Another thing a lot of people don't know is that the show House is Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
But instead of crimes, it's diseases. And instead of Watson, it's Wilson. His first name is still John.
Yeah.
And where does House live? Martin?
I don't even
I know he has a
221B, apartment B.
I never noticed the address.
It's 221 Baker Street, apartment B.
I never noticed that.
There's so many house instead of homes.
Oh, you know that they made this story in House too, but in a two-parter.
Yes, they did. And I got to tell you, Scandal in Bohemia is one of my favorite stories because it has Irene Adler, the woman. I also love the soundtrack to this film, too. Great soundtrack. Yeah,
I
this
like
is cool
how-
because this whole situation has been set up in advance, and Pullman's watching, and he sees her coming in, and he noticed that one dude slipped into a bathroom, an adjacent bathroom, and then he noticed that she ducks away from her partner and goes into that same room, and then walks out with her jump kit, holding it differently, and he realizes that was
It's
a
her.
pickup. She's the blackmailer.
The reason for doing it, though, oh boy, that came out.
Arlo
nowhere.
is his name. Arlo. That's it. I cannot possibly overstate the importance of research.
Oh my God! I now I remember who Ben Stiller reminds me of in this movie. It's a very toned down version of the imaginary version of the character Argyle, with the suit and the hair.
Yeah. Always dressed to the nines. This movie, by the way, tanked. It's kind of sad. It was shot on, I think, a $20 million budget. Let me go check.
Why did it tank? Advertising?
It came out in
Well,
96.
Critics attacked the script, said it was hit and miss. I don't know. I think it was a solid. It was a solid.
I thought it was a solid story. It was funny as hell. The budget was wow. It only cost $5 million, but it only brought in $2 million. at the box
Ouch.
office.
That's bad. I mean,
It
5
picked up
million
later.
back then. That's small.
I'm certain it made its money back in
Rentals.
Home
VOD,
video.
rentals, buying the DVDs,
I'm sure
blah,
it
blah,
did.
blah.
That's not a lot of money to make back.
And I felt bad for Jake Kasdan because this was going to launch his career. And it would take him another 10 years before he would get another big project. You remember what that was?
Nope.
I'm not asking Anima because I know she doesn't know, but you sometimes know.
I'm
these.
not even bothering to answer because I know you know I don't.
No, if you please can enlighten me.
I'm trying to remember. It's got Zooey Deschanel in it.
Okay, let me search Jake.
He also
Yes.
was the executive producer on the 2002 Zero Effect TV series pilot that went nowhere.
Hmm.
Go.
Okay, do you want to look for him as a producer or as a director?
I've got to go back and look at it because I'm going into his. Because I know he worked on Bad Teacher, which I thought was funny. He worked on the Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, which is funny as fuck. Freaks and Geeks, he was a consulting producer on that.
Sex Tapes was funny.
I enjoyed that film. Also, The Grinder. He was an executive producer on The Grinder with Rob Lowe.
Ooh, I love that one.
Oh, great fucking show. He was, there it is. Here we go. Executive producer on The New Girl, who's Zooey Deschanel, which was a hit. And he
A
wrote
Grindr
on
another
it
show
too.
we can go back and watch more.
You have to watch The New Girl with me sometime because that is one of the few romantic comedy TV shows I thought was worth time.
But let's work on getting me into the same time zone as you again. Much more time to watch stuff.
Yes, and that way I can also snuggle with you.
Try
Yeah.
not to
Jake
smother
Johnson.
the hair.
Grab me
Jake
and throw
Johnson.
me over your shoulder. Shit like that.
Yeah. How do you write a poem about Clarissa?
And not use the
Clarissa,
name.
yeah.
No, and not use the name
Not
in
use
the
the
whole
name- did not use
poem.
the name in it.
If ever name deserved back to be in a poem, it's Clarissa. You just had that title there.
I thought that this was a brilliant concept and I wish that it had taken off. Now, when they did the TV series, it's had, what's his name? Oh God, gay Scottish actor, played Nightcrawler, Alan Cumming. And he was the only star in the show. Everybody else was nobodies. And it was kind of clever, kind of cute, but it just didn't have to it. So I've always felt bad for Jake because I think he's a really good idea guy. I really do. I think he's a great idea guy. He gets that gift from his dad, unlike his brother, who's a complete twat. What's his brother's name? I always forget his name. Jonathan Kasdan. That's that turd. Fucking turd nugget. Ruined Willow.
Ruined.
Ruined, Brian. Ruined.
Well,
So this is a neat moment too, because these intimate moments between him and you don't see hatred coming. It's one-way hatred in the film. This is great too. He's in the park swinging, pushing his kid on a swing. He's your kid? No, rental.
That was so weird. You could not do that in a movie nowadays. two guys
No.
pushing a random kid. I mean, parents nowhere around. Yeah.
You walk up to somebody and you go, look, I'm not a fucking weirdo. Okay. I have a client coming up here and I have to look like I fit here. You can sit right here. I just want to push your kid and I will pay you $500 to let me push them on the swing. And yes, you would get some fucking weird side eyes for that. But I guarantee you there's a small percentage of parents that will go, okay.
That's disturbing.
Yeah. There are people out there that would say yes. They'll sit there and watch, make sure their kid's okay. But I think there are people out there that will fucking do that. 1998 was a time when actors like Ryan O'Neal, James Coburn, James Caan didn't get lead roles. They were such beloved big stars in the 70s, and Hollywood kind of forgets fast. But you also look at that period of time. Ryan O'Neal was getting these bit parts. He ended up going to episodic television. And Coburn, he was getting supporting roles, but his last role is one of the best things he was ever in, called Infliction, with Nick Nolte. He's Nick Nolte's abusive father. And Nick Nolte is I don't remember if he is a chief or captain there in a small town, the head of the police. And he's had something happen. A murder has happened in his town that he thinks has much higher implications, but he can't get his brain to work right because in the middle of trying to solve this crime and deal with his fucked up family, he has an abscessed tooth that is absolutely, and it's done through sound and through the use of the score to really let you feel his stress levels increasing from this abscess. And he is my third favorite actor of all time for raging is Nick Nolte. And he goes into a rage in this fucking movie. It's great. Because like there are certain actors, man, that just rage in a way that nobody else. George C. Scott, number one. Nobody can rage like him. What was the other one I told you about the other night, Anima, that we were watching? I said, man, he can rage.
Oh, I forgot.
Gene Wilder.
Comedic.
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. Thank you for remembering that, Martin. Gene Wilder can rage to where he looks like he's losing his fucking mind. And then the other one is Nick Nolte. Great actors for use of rage, not overuse, not abuse of rage, but so energized from it that you are just taken in by it. So the fun thing about this is like the first time he gets on the treadmill with Ryan O'Neal, he looks over and goes, so what are you at 8? He goes, no, I'm at 7. When in reality, he was at 5. And he was doing this to test that he's okay lying by 1 degree, but he won't correct it to the point of being, he's too embarrassed to say it was at 5 when he had guessed him at 8.
In front of a stranger, too. What do you care about stranger's opinion?
And he says that this shows a certain kind of arrogance and ego.
Hey,
but
Penny's
at the end of it, hold on just a second. Hi, Penny. So
Hi,
at
Penny.
the end of it, when Ryan O'Neal walks away, he gets off the fucking treadmill. He's like, oh, because he's been running like he's all healthy and shit, and then when then the act falls off of him the minute the suspect walks away. He's like, oh my god, oh, he's never done exercise before in his life. And this one, because he tells her that he's an accountant, where he tells the girl at the gym he's an architect. And
that's a weird fuck up for a guy like him.
Yes,
Just have
it
different
is.
Stories.
So she's wanting to see if he's any good. So he actually forces, this is back before the internet was a huge thing, but it did exist. he has to learn everything there is to learn about being an accountant. And he goes in there knowing everything he needs to know about being an accountant, including some odd fucking off the books fucking deduction.
Yes,
that he says
and she throw him a curveball trying to get him. She knows she's onto him the same way he's onto her.
Yes, and that's where her similarities to Irene Adler is that Irene Adler was equal in intellect, intelligence, and knowledge as Sherlock was, which is why it was so hard for him to catch her. And when he does catch her, she is so fast that right at the moment he catches her, he realizes he caught her. And she absolutely fucks him in the end, because he goes there expecting to find the photo in the fireplace where there's a lever to release a hatch into the fireplace. But when they get there, it's not there. Only a letter to him from her. She outwitted him. I love that shit. It's the one person who really truly outwitted Sherlock Holmes. And he's a bit of a, I wouldn't call him a misogynist, Sherlock Holmes, but he doesn't trust women. He finds them, and people who have Asperger's or that are on the spectrum have trouble with people who veil their feelings. I don't like it. I don't like it when I'm around people who veil their feelings. You can tell I'm in the spectrum because that bugs me. I can tell when they're doing it. It bothers me. And Anima brought up something interesting here, which is, and it's funny to me because I gave the explanation. Why did he spend all that time when she was not there?
She was taking a nap. He could have done it
Or
then,
taking a
but
nap.
he does it when she's
That he
back
could have
up.
investigated. Why didn't he investigate her apartment then? But I said the reason why is he had to keep up his front and he had to finish the accounting. He's
Not
that
only
much
that-
of a perfectionist.
Not only that, doing her accounting, he is learning about her habits.
Learns
That
about
is
her
true.
habits.
Yes,
Eating.
but how long does it take to go through her purse and look in a couple of drawers? That would have taken
Well,
maybe
in the end,
15 minutes.
it doesn't take very long. She
Yeah.
jumps in the shower. He quickly does what he does, finds what he needs to find, and he goes back to what he's doing. And so he's able to maintain the ruse, learn information about her by doing that, and then gleans more information while she's in the shower.
That
Oh,
was
another thing I
risky.
liked is that when he's at the gym and she says, "No, you can take the appointment.
You need it more
And-
than I.
You need it more than I do." And then he looks at the secretary, then he turns, like he finally figures out what he wants to say to her, and she's already gone. Like, who is she? Tells the name, and it says, and she's single. And I really like the fact that you get all this, you get information, and you get it the way he gets the information. I don't like it when they give you more information than the detective gets. The audience should be going along with this as the detective is. And this one does a good job of that. And I think that probably bugged a few people. It's like, no, it's like you don't get to know more than the detective. Sure, that works with Columbo because we see the crime. But this is different. We have to go along for the ride with the detective to figure out what's going on. And you, the audience, are trying to piece it together too. I love it. I love that. She's got piercing blue eyes. Not like my ex-wife, Alicia's, my late ex-wife.
The first time I saw her in the pool, I thought she was Naomi Watts.
She does look a lot like her. You know who she is.
Yeah. No.
It's
Featherstone,
Angela
no.
Featherstone. Yeah. She's been in The Wedding Singer. She played Linda. Remember that?
I
The
haven't seen
bitch,
Wedding Singer.
girlfriend that treats him
I
like crap.
haven't.
She played Jenny in Con Air.
Haven't seen Con Air.
He was, I'm trying to remember, I think it was the first episode of The Mentalist, which I love that show. There's another Sherlockian type show I enjoyed.
Oh, I love that show. I binged it back when I was in Croatia in one winter because it was on TV. So I just went to my computer and watched it all.
Which is funny because she was then previously in the series The Guardian with the same actor. I forget his name. I don't remember what his name is. Good actor, though. I think he's Aussie.
Yeah, he
The
is.
Guardian. Is that the one the special forces guy gets lost in a jungle?
No.
And, okay.
No. The Guardian is one where he is a lawyer that doesn't like kids that ends up being appointed guardian to a child. And then
Simon Baker is his name.
Simon Baker, that's him.
And he actually learned to do the magic tricks that he's doing.
Yeah.
He had training
On The
for
Mentalist.
that. Yeah. I saw an interview
He
with
was
him
so
once.
good
And
at
then
it.
he did tricks with the audience, and he was mind blowing. I mean, on the show he does it on camera, so they can do takes and shit. He did it live with an audience, and he impressed them all. He's a funny dude too. It's weird though. I hear him talk with his normal accent. He does American for The Mentalist.
I'm not sure I understand what this is about. Do you know what it's about, Martin?
Nope.
In 1998 was a time when actors like Ryan O'Neal, a big star of the 70s, Hollywood forgets fast. Gene Hackman too. Gene Hackman retired at the top of the game. Broke
That's
my
the worst
heart
moment.
because I fucking love Gene Hackman. At least everyone can enjoy great movies instead of bamboozling people with hate and lies. Oh, I get what you're saying with the woke shit and anti, masculine, gotcha. Toxic masculinity. Yeah, I got it. And here's a funny thing. When I saw this film, I thought, this girl is really pretty in an interesting way. She's very interestingly pretty. She looked like somebody that I would draw, because I like the way her nose is shaped. But I got a weird vibe off of her, and I don't know why. And come to find out, yeah, she's gay.
I don't find her attractive.
I
don't
did.
know.
It's her eyes. I like her
Yes.
eyes. She has very
That
strong eyes. And I like her nose. I'm a nose guy. I'm attracted to noses.
You're weird.
Noses and eyes.
Me too, but
Last thing is the shape of the mouth.
she doesn't move the needle for me.
Mildred's next to you. Blink once if you need me to save you. And but anyway, so his character is so funny because now she's going to take him out to go shooting. I love this scene, and he acts like he's never shot before, but then right when she turns to walk away, one-handed he nails the fucking target, and then he makes the comment, "Oh yeah, I get it. I get this." Guy knows how to
Snorty
fucking
agrees
fire.
with you, Gary.
Yeah, I agree too.
For my mom, it was the ears, especially with her own kids. She would always check if her babies had pretty ears. Yeah. We all have nice ears.
A little self-serving, that comment.
Yeah, a little bit. I think so too.
Well, we all have nice ears, but I'm the lucky one with the nose because I inherited the nose from my dad's line and not my mom's.
Yeah, and I
all
do
her
like
other
the
kids
nose.
inherited hers.
I find your nose very attractive.
Oh, you have to say that. You're my fiancé.
It's why you are my fiance, because I fell for you. That knows.
Oh. Not like you like other parts too.
Yeah, get a room, guy.
Get a room.
We have a room. We had to leave it to do a show. So fuck you. We had like half an hour to hang out before the show because we're both home late because there was stuff to do.
Look,
By the way, today's episode is brought to you by Tab Cola. Hey, it's only saccharin.
only. Now I cannot see the great value Argyle. Every time I see Ben Stiller's character.
By the way, I did get these in, Martin.
Oh,
You
Yeah,
are on
on the
air.
door.
Why is it not on the door?
I forgot.
That's so like Gary. Ordering stuff like that and then forgetting to use it.
and there you have it, the guy in the picture.
And she's a nurse, remember? So a paramedic. So at first you think that's her and her job. It's not.
She volunteers on that hospital, but
But her
That is-
relationship to that dude is not
Mhm.
patient caregiver. And you learn that later.
mhm.
When they piece
At
it
this-
all together, I did not see this coming.
well, at this point, we know that there's a father-daughter relationship with her and the guy in the wheelchair,
Mm.
and she's doing this for revenge because her father's life has been she judges has been destroyed by Ryan O'Neill's character. So that is why she's
Yeah, because this
blackmailing him
this
as
is what
punishment.
this is what he's got to figure out, because he figures out that there used to be a radiator against this wall. And the way he figures everything out is really
Mm.
cool. He says the bed, he figures the bed was in this position, looks at the photos. Yeah, the radiator was here and the body was here. And why was the bed moved? Why was the bed moved?
Mm.
And that is what confounds him. Why was the bed moved? And he's trying to figure it out. And finally, it comes to him. There was a baby. She had a baby with Ryan O'Neill's character. And she had the baby in between the bed and the wall, and it pinned it in there like a little playpen. Even though it could go into the bed and choke to death. But, I'm not saying her mother was a good mother. Because in the end, you find out she's kind of a shitheel too. Because her plan was to blackmail Ryan O'Neill's character with the kid. I liked LA Confidential too. It was a good movie.
I like how he determines that the bed was moved just because he knew all the regulations for that year. So in the year
Yeah.
in 72, a bed couldn't be that much feet from the door, that much feet from the motherfucker.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just a walking wealth of knowledge.
Yep, that is a nice channel, Tom. I follow them. Okay, I'm gonna put this in motion again. Oh, you're ready.
Okay.
I like it. He, Arlo plays a character with the clients too, and he's a mean, cold son of a bitch with the client because he despises the client. But you know that is after when he's having that conversation with Daryl, he- how he feel about their clients. They're all bastards. I fucking hate him.
Or a lava lamp. I mean, my God, talk about
Mm.
obscure.
That was weird. Yeah. Why would that be dangerous?
Fire hazard.
A lava lamp? Did they get that hot? I never had one. I don't know.
Yeah, they do heat up, the old ones.
Okay.
That's how they do. That's how they move. It's based off of convection.
I always wanted one.
I only know them from The Sims. Because they're good to make a room better.
I only know them because I had them.
Of course you did. Fucking poser.
That's Mr.
Why is he a
Poser to you.
Why is he a poser for
What?
having the lamp? That makes him not a poser.
No. You just said you always wanted one. I said I only know them from playing The Sims.
Ah.
But he said, well, I actually had one. So I'm better than you. Poser.
No. Okay. I don't understand. Okay.
I'll try in Mexican next time.
I am not Mexican.
I know, right?
You German.
You
Fuck off.
racist. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had hired a racist here.
It's all fun and games until you call her German.
Yep.
One of my favorite moments in this film
That's when the
is
teddy bears
what if-
start flying.
was when Ryan O'Neal threatens to go into the hotel room. He says, "What if I just go in there right now? What would you do?"
I'll
You-
shoot you.
I'll shoot you. You would shoot me.
I have a
Yes,
gun.
I have a gun and everything.
Yeah.
That's sort of, he says it the same way I say and stuff.
Mm. That has become a thing while I was over there with you and stuff.
Yeah, she actually got it up close and personal the whole way I use that and stuff. Yeah, I
But
love you and stuff.
everybody did. Lauren came in the living room once and we were sitting on the couch watching something. And she was like, oh my God, it's almost like you're dating and stuff.
And stuff.
Sometimes we say, I love you and stuff. We're weird.
Towards? What? Birds, towards. They don't rhyme.
And here we have the 98% confession. He says that he knew the woman Clarissa, got obsessed with her, but that he had to move on, continue with his life, getting married, and then the woman returned to accuse him of mm, the fruit without the G.
Mm.
And he said that no, she wasn't trying to blackmailing me. She all right, just want to destroy my life. And he said that he was innocent, but the scandal alone could be disastrous. So he arranged her unalivement.
People like me don't kill people. We hire people to do it.
Yeah.
Then when he does the whole, also here in the third act, he says, I will pay you $5,000. He goes,
No,
and then
$5 million.
or $5 million. That what it was?
5 million.
$5 million. He goes, $5 million just for her. He goes, no, 5 million, you kill her. And then he's like, I'm done talking to you.
Yeah. At first instance, at the beginning of the movie, they try to make this guy a sympathetic character, but the guy is pure horseshit.
Yep. His garbage.
Le garbage.
Yeah, the salty nerds do that too. Garbage. That's when a movie is extra bad. It's garbage. Matt Vader is so funny when he says that. We should have him as a guest again. He's so funny to hang out with.
Matt?
Matt, yeah.
Matt Vader.
Matt Bader.
He's my favorite of them, of the salty nerds.
I do believe we all feel that way. I like Alex. I like all of them. It's just I have a friendship with and a kinship. Kinship with Matt.
Well, Alex is fun too, and Jude is great, but I don't know. I think Matt is the most fun. Oh, fuck! That was my elbow.
Elbow?
Perhaps you know that, especially when I'm tired. And I bruised my elbow today, and now I hit my table when I turned with the same elbow. So it's going to be a nice shade of blue tomorrow. I lost a fight against the coffee machine today. My job is dangerous.
That'll teach you. That'll teach
Yeah.
you.
Doesn't teach me not to do my job or what?
Something. Something.
Dark side.
Dark side.
Oh, here is when
something
when-
complete.
here's when he's quitting. Well, giving notice, saying that when this case is over, I'm gone.
Yep.
And man, he's not
And
taking
it
it
just
well.
knocks him for a loop. He is not prepared for this. I never saw this happening. Smart as he is, he never saw this coming.
And Arlo almost takes it back when he said, "I don't know what I'm gonna do without you." You see in Arlo's face that doubt that, oh man, but he wants a life, or he wants to try having a life.
So you expect me to just start talking to people?
Yeah.
You're probably the best. Probably. Yes, you're the greatest.
Do you think he enjoys solving puzzles, or he's compelled to? Because there are two different things.
there's a world of difference between satisfaction and enjoyment, and he gets satisfaction from it. He enjoys the process, but the solving isn't what he's enjoying. He gets satisfaction from that. It's the process that he enjoys. I believe he actually gets enjoyment out of that. Because I mean, that's what I believe Sherlock Holmes was.
I think the diva is wanting his hello
Yes,
video.
I've been called out. Sorry, Tim.
Yeah.
Sorry.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me
Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah, I get it better than Gary.
Yes, of course. You're Anima Thunberg.
Oof. How dare you? I was working with a guy once in Croatia who kept calling me Heidi. And he just didn't want to learn that Heidi was in Switzerland, not in Austria. It was like, yeah, same mountains. So one day
Same mountain.
I put my hair in 2 braids and insisted he call me Heidi the whole shift. That put an end to things.
Oh, by the way, Anima, I know Gary did, but did you notice? Oh well, yeah, they made that soon. That she's there in the other parking lot watching the whole thing.
Watching. Yeah.
Yeah. Tim, I'm not getting rid of my name. I'm a huge Peter Gabriel fan, and we share a last name. I'm not dumping that.
She can hyphenate all she wants. I'm not.
Mr. Confuser. No, you're an artist. You can't change your name.
Oh, Tim, what the fuck?
What? Let's not go there.
No.
Even Gary says no.
There she was. Watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you, motherfucker.
Also, hi, Debut. I don't know when he joined, but I just spotted him in chat.
Oh, he's been with us since the beginning.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Debut.
Yeah.
I didn't see you earlier. I'm not too focused on the right side of the screen when I'm looking up
She
shit on
was
my phone.
preoccupied with her cat.
No, I'm looking up shit on my phone because I can't do it on the computer because I still only have one fucking screen. I'm not getting another one before I move.
See,
This is cute.
a second
You know.
straw just appeared
Yeah.
in the milkshake.
What?
Yeah, she has the milkshake and she had only one straw, and when she pushes the milkshake to him, there are 2 straws.
Oh. Okay.
It's like the first drink that Arlo takes from the fridge.
Right there.
It's in fact a tap, and then it changes to a Coca-Cola.
I'm usually good at spotting continuity fuck ups. I didn't notice that. Oh.
So there it is. One straw.
Mm-hmm.
Two straws.
And you're sure he didn't put it in? Because we
never saw him put it in.
have a slideshow here.
Doesn't mean it didn't happen. It means that it got edited in a way that it's lost continuity, visual continuity. So it happened in between moments.
Do you think he knows that she knows at this point?
I don't think so. But the big difference here is that unlike Irene Adler getting over on Holmes, he ends up still being one step ahead of her at the end.
Mm. And she gave it all there when she said, "I always wanted to look like that woman," and he got it. Okay. Oh my God, her mother was the redhead, and the other.
And Ryan O'Neal's character's fixation with the woman with red hair.
Which is understandable.
When can a person be considered physical evidence? Yep,
And
she
that's
is the evidence.
and that is when he knew why the bed was moved.
Dead air.
I'm sorry, I have to. I am talking to
I'm
my
sorry,
wife.
but Snowdub posted something and I had to go look at it.
Yeah, I love how both of you always go off doing other things on your computers, and I'm like, am I the only one talking here now? What the fuck, guys?
Am I the
Well,
only one in the moment?
That's it. I'm leaving. Good night.
oh my goodness.
Meh.
I have
Oh,
to end this message.
man.
And no, I have to finish this message.
Fine. Ignore us. Ignore your job.
I prefer ignoring the job than ignoring my wife. That the consequences would be dire.
Oh, yeah, that sounds healthy. What is Tim talking about? What must have been bad? He
Him,
must have
him.
been what?
I didn't get it either. So, but here it is. I don't know what. Tim, what
What
were
are
you
you
talking
telling
about?
us, Tim?
You're never bad, except when you are, but you are not.
No, he's not bad. He's just a diva, insisting on his video. But that's okay. He deserves it. He's here all the time. Usually late, but he's here. They have such a weird relationship, these two.
Well, he's an awkward guy to begin with.
And she's living for her job mostly because she's working insane hours.
I think she's a little bit like him.
Well, she has a lot going on with
Yeah.
that whole story she's involved in here.
She doesn't have Asperger, and she allows some
Are you
degree
gonna
of
just stand
passion.
there?
She
Are you gonna
allows
do something about it. Oh my god, what a great line.
herself moments of passion, whereas he despises them.
And a lot of the context that's going on between their conversations has multi-layered meanings. Just gonna stand there watching, or are you going to do something about it? I like that line. So again, this film was shot on a $5 million budget, and it got released.
How much would that be
pretty
in
much-
today's money? Just out of curiosity.
I'll go do a calculation.
They have always been writing difficult situations out of people just not talking. So many movies wouldn't happen if people just talk within the 5 minutes.
Yep.
So $1 in 1998 is worth almost $2 today.
So it would be a 10 million budget today. That's still very small.
It'd be under 10 million.
Yeah.
'Cause like I said, it's almost $2. It's $1.93.
Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. I have no idea why I'm being yelled at. I didn't do
And
anything.
that's why, like in modern horror, there's always like, there's no signal, or
Oh,
I left
yeah.
my phone. You know, it's how they.
The
try to deal
battery's
with it.
dead. It's either the battery's dead or there's no signal. Phones are always
No.
useless.
I hate those movies in which they put the bubbles of conversation on text messaging
Yeah,
on screen. I hate that. And
Yeah,
now
I do that too.
this new trend of movies that are all in video chat. Oh, Jesus Christ.
so here she is at the planetarium, and then he comes there and he's gonna kill her, and he has a fucking heart attack.
Yeah. And she's a paramedic, so
she
she has to go into
saves him.
CPR. With the shittiest CPR I've seen for a while. Sorry.
Well, it was only $5 million budget.
And I got to tell you, I mean, I know actors can be really committed, but nobody wants to have their chest thumped for real.
Yeah,
No,
you
I know
could
that,
have-
but
you will have broken ribs.
yeah, if you do it right. But that still looked bad. There are better ways of doing that without actually doing it.
He almost looked like Michael Douglas with that disguise. Look again. Oh, I took
Went
it
too
back
far
too
back.
much. Well, but the thing is, she knows that he's her father, but he doesn't know.
And that's the thing, is that he, you know, Daryl's going to protect her and keep him from finding out as best he can. But in the end, he advises her to keep moving, never stay in one place too long.
There, Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Yeah, less than 7% of people who get thumped are rescued by the thump. Over 90% of people who are being thumped are being thumped for one reason, to keep them going until something electrical can be done.
Yep.
So he finds the tape.
To keep the oxygenated blood going.
Yep, moving.
Until the EMTs arrive. Yeah.
Keep the brain alive, keep the heart alive.
Well, that's life.
What's life?
A magazine.
How much does it cost?
You got me there. I can't remember the rest of the joke. The price.
It's $3, but I only got 2. That's life. I like this moment where he goes there, then he calls and gets her at the airport. Or she calls him.
She calls.
And he says, I knew you were going to be there, but I hoped you'd be here.
Yes, and he's not bluffing because he sent Arlo and told him where to sit.
Ah, man, it's such a good little film. And she gets scared. She thinks Arlo's there to kill her.
No, he's with me.
She gets panic on her face.
Yeah.
When she says, see the man sitting behind you? And she like panics.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a look of panic on her face. Don't worry, he's there for me.
When she asks him to come with her, man, and he has to decline. That's so sad.
He is the Scorpion.
What?
Yeah,
The Frog and the Scorpion.
that one.
It's not like he's going to do damage, but he can't help his nature. He is who he is. Guy who's a fucking murderer. The guy's a fucking murderer.
Risks his own life by saving the kid, getting his prints all over the place.
Where else have I seen?
And then raising her, he didn't just put her in an orphanage or something. He raised that kid.
Well, while he could, then he left her with his sister.
Yeah.
When he went to prison. I remember the 90s like it was yesterday.
It was only 10 years ago. We all know that. Don't you know that?
25 years ago.
Yeah, but it's what you say. The 90s were only 10 years ago. There's no fucking way 25 years have passed. No, it was just 10 years ago. I remember the 90s like they were yesterday. My fucking time in high school.
Will you tell them about me? No. Yeah, see, he's already done the Arlo thing, and we skipped past it. Um, just the scene happened so quickly, it just didn't catch it. So Arlo is sitting over there. He told Arlo exactly where to sit, that she was going to use that phone. He was able to predict everything down, distill it down. You can come with me. I can't.
I like how she decided to spare him the difficulty of saying "I love you." She
I
feels
don't
that
think he
he's
would have said that.
no, he was going to, but he was
Mm.
struggling.
No, he was struggling with it, and she saved him.
So you don't have to say it. I love you too. Oh my God, that was. And he smiles in relief.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the name that he gave to the case.
The
It's
names of all their
ridiculous.
cases are ridiculous. The man who lost his keys. Lost his keys.
Three lines of title. What the
Lost,
fuck?
who lost his keys in the sofa and had to have a heart attack to find them.
Something like that, yeah. And here he has
Because
it.
this is something associated with Sherlock Holmes, is because Watson was the one who tended to name the mysteries.
And he went complicated like that?
No, they're, you know, the stories, the Sherlock Holmes stories. All of them were
Barely.
supposedly named by John Watson.
Hmm.
The Crooked Man, the Dancing Men, you know. The Mystery of the Copper Beeches. One of my favorites, by the way. I put that in my top 5 favorite Sherlock Holmes stories. That she's somewhere jumping out of a plane. He's got her nailed. Singular, unforgettable event. The only time I ever took leave of my objectivity, worthiest opponent and the greatest ally, the only woman.
There's the line.
And then the only one. In the end, she did for me what I have done for so many. Helped solve a problem first by observation. Left out that fucking line.
Yeah. But that's just him saying I love you, the way he describes it at the end, what she did for him. What a nice ending, even though it's sad because they are probably never going to see each other again.
No, in fact, they do not see each other again.
Mm.
Only in the TV show with Benedict Cumberbatch. It's the only time, the only adaptation in which he sees her again.
Okay.
They also show it in the Sherlock Holmes films with Robert Downey.
I don't know. I tried not to watch them.
They're good.
The only thing I've seen is the TV series with Cumberbatch, and he was great as Sherlock Holmes.
My problem was the mysteries. There aren't mysteries anymore. It's my complaint about Moffat and what's his name that plays Mycroft in it. Is because he's the other showrunner with Moffat, and that they were smarter than Conan Doyle. So what they do is they deconstruct the mystery to where it's not a mystery anymore, it's something else. I'm like, whatever. So anyway, the line is, and though I never would have anticipated it, in the end, she did for me what I have done for so many. Help solve a problem, first by observation, then by careful intervention. In other words, the zero effect. That's a great ending.
Yeah.
Big fan of that movie. Once again, stars Bill Pullman, Anima's favorite actor of all time, and I cannot stress how
Shut the
much
fuck
he
up.
loves Ben Stiller. She just
I really
loves
don't.
Ben Stiller. She says that now, but I'm telling you, I have heard her just go on endlessly talking about how
You
talented
have
he is.
not. Shut the fuck up, you shithead.
You got Ryan O'Neal in a really a supporting role. You've got Matt O'Toole as Craig and Vincent, the guy that's the hitman. You got Kim Dickens as Gloria Sullivan. She's a very good actor. Angela Featherstone as the hot woman of Steve Arlo. And that's pretty much it. I mean, everybody else is just small players. I like it. It's a small cast. It's not a lot of moving parts.
5 million.
Keep it
Couldn't hire
simple.
more.
Streamline it.
If they had it theatrically made their money back and a little over, you would have seen a sequel.
Yeah, definitely.
Didn't work. I always feel bad for Jake. But he's made a great career. Once he got the new girl, play on words, his career, his life with Jake. After that, not just his name, his life. So very fond of this film. I don't know about you guys. I hope everybody gets a chance to watch this movie. Highly recommend it. I definitely, out of 10 stars, I give it about a 9. For writing, for the acting, the comedy, the mystery of it.
We haven't done the rating thing for a while now.
But this is one I've actually written a review for. I wrote a review for this for the magazine I used to work for. And but back then it was potatoes. I gave this one a solid 5 potatoes because I was the couch potato critic. True story. I still have the Facebook fan page. I still occasionally write a review. Last review I wrote though was, oh wow, it's been a little bit. The last review I wrote on there was the first Spawn, not Spawn. What's his name? The black alien symbiote.
What are we talking about?
The black-skinned alien symbiote, Marvel.
Venom.
Thank you. The last official review I did on there was that. I've written reviews over on my personal page, but I went on the Couch Potato Critic page for years. I get tired of it. Still, though, there are people that tell me that, over on Facebook, friends, that they always look for my reviews on a film. And it's something that Mark Center and I have in common. We like reviewing films, giving our thoughts on whether it was good or not, what made it good, why it was bad. 90% of the time, if I say something's bad, it's immediately the writing. This is one I thought was written very well. And I think Jake Kasdan's a very good writer, much better writer than his dipshit brother. That's me pulling punches.
Yeah. Tell us how you really feel, please.
So I used to like it, the dad, Lawrence Kasdan, but he sold out after Disney got involved in. I've been very underimpressed with the bastard. I mean, he could have made things better, and he chose not to. So,
well, but at least he gave us Empire. So,
yes, he did. He even helped with Jedi, but mostly it was Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, actually. Raiders of the Lost Ark and Empire Strikes Back. That's all thanks to Kasdan, Lawrence Kasdan. All right.
Get ready to fight me, but I think that Empire is Empire alone is better than the whole Indiana Jones trilogy.
I can fight you on it. I'm not going to argue with that. I think that's a valid statement. I think it is a better story structurally. So, but anyway, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank Tim for being here, D. Bud Martin, Andy Morrow, Snorta Peepus Cuber, Vinkman's Girl, Tom Baker, Apple Eater with Rome from Rumble, and of course our dear friend Jenny. Good day, Penny. Thanks for being here, guys. Hope everybody enjoyed the discussion on this film and really a review of it because it's a solid film. If you haven't seen the film, you should watch it sometime. You could probably find it in the bargain bin at Walmart sometime. Let's look for it. Find it on eBay. I bet you on eBay it's like $5. It's a cheap movie to get, and it's far more valuable for entertainment purposes.
Yeah. That's a low price for that. What?
Porpoises.
He's
I
mocking me.
think that it's important to find porpoises in life.
Fuck you.
You're being racist.
Racist.
Mocking people for their accent when they can't help having one.
Having the people?
Oh my god.
God, I missed being in slapping distance of you, asshole.
Let it go, Animal. Let it go.
I
really do.
I did.
I missed
what
sitting
did I-
next to him, being able to slap him. It felt
Jay
so
said something last night, and I completely fumbled it around on him. And I said, "What do you mean?" And I said it wrong on purpose. He goes, "Yeah, that's what." Wait, what? And I said it again. He goes, "Wait, no, that's not what I said. I said something." I said, "Yeah, that's what I'm saying." And then I say it again, and he goes, "What?" He was so like, what is going on? Because I was quickly reversing the words in the sentence. It was just something funny I did to Jace last night. So that's it, guys. We're gonna get the hell out of here. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. It's middle of the week. Don't forget, hump somebody's leg. It's hump day. Hump somebody's leg. I do. Well, I will. I'm storing them up.
Jesus Christ, that's a threat right there.
Anyway, we're out of here, guys. Take care. Bye. This episode is brought to you by Inster's Nose. And don't forget to make sure you didn't leave the iron on when you leave the house. That's all, folks.
Y'all come back now, you hear?